Welcome to Akweya TV. My name is Idajo Aja, and this is the report we're bringing to you at this hour. The National President Ufia Development Association, UDA, Chief Vincent Eje Uloko, has said that peace between Ufia in Ado local government area of Benue State and their neighboring Akweya community is necessary in order for them to unite against common enemies to fight and protect each other from possible attacks by unknown armed men who are on rampage, attacking vulnerable communities around the Middle Belt area and other parts of the country.
To have common understanding because of the ongoing, the happenings, incessant killing in other parts of Idoma and Nigeria as a whole. What do we do to safeguard our community between Akpa and Ufia? I suggest there should be a committee that the two community will bring their security personnel like volunteer guards, so that they will be meeting time to time where there will be roadblock checking, and in case of any movement or suspected movement, then they can raise alert. Because if they come here, there's necessity of crossing there, and if they come there, the necessity of crossing here. So the two communities supposed to have such arrangement in advance for them not to take us by surprise. That's my intention.
In his welcome address in a peace meeting convened by the leadership of Ufia Development Association for Ufia Akweya Peace Talk on Sunday, the 19th of June, 2022 at Eje Uloko in Ado local government area of Benue State. The Ufia Development Association president said that the purpose of the meeting is to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the two communities that have become so intertwined in intermarriages and other friendly relationships, and to make it clear to Akweya that they do not share the same view with the claim of Professor Otokba Agada concerning Ufia ownership of a certain part of Akweya land, as recently published in one of his books.
None of us is aware of that letter. We are not government. We cannot stand on our own at the market boundary. So he wrote it purely on his own as an individual. Even this morning, we discussed it. I told them we have responded. We will call our son. We will talk to him. So that letter, that book, is not the knowledge of anybody. We just own the book in totality. We cannot take law into our house. We don't want to drag anybody's land. We don't want to claim anybody's land. When it is necessary, we inform the government. Ufia had his own, the book. He wrote it on his own personal opinion, not on behalf of Ufia. Apology, because it's our son. We cannot deny him as a person. We sincerely wish to tender apology.
The National President Akpa Community Development Association, ACDA, Pastor Maurice Ago Adiga, said the move for peace and collaboration in security matters as proposed by Chief Uloko is a welcome development, but that there is need to address the little issues that have been responsible for fracas in time past and in recent times, including the claim of Professor Agada in a book recently published citing a portion of Akweya as belonging to Ufia. Maurice Adiga on the published book instructed the writer of the book to do a retraction of the alleged false claim in pages 14 and 15 of the book and publish same in 3 national dailies.
There will be no peace without concrete agreement. And when there is peace, not a graveyard peace, when there is real peace, there will be no problem. Mr. President, sir.
Thank you.
What we are trying to say here is this meeting is for peace. But first and foremost, we wrote a letter. He should do a retraction. This book has gone international. We are all teachers here. When we are writing thesis, project, dissertation, we make references to books. And somebody can pick that book now and make reference to it, and it become valid. And as time goes on, it will become a valid issue. That's our fear now. That's our concern. And that's why, at a particular time, we wrote that we therefore appeal to Your Excellency to use your good office and your undoubted discretionary powers in this residence, Mr. Constance, to intervene decisively and avert the impending communal conflict, whose end by this book seek to light and is fanning it furiously. We demand the retraction of his claim in pages 14 and 15 of his book. It's a simple thing. Let him publish, apart from writing a letter of apology to the Akweya people, he should also publish in at least 3 dailies and say he retract those pages. He disowned those pages. Not just to disown the book. The book has gone international. It has a national number. It has a worldwide number. It has become a valid book. Even if we say go and bring all the books for market, it's not still possible. The possibility is that by the time you publish this and say this page and this page, I disown those pages by your own self, they become valid. And whoever make reference to it is already in the book of word that this has been retracted. And that's the only thing.
The Akweya PDP party leader and the former president of Akpa Youth Progressive Forum, Comrade Abba Adaudu, added that the security collaboration is possible by the two communities, but that current areas of grievances must be addressed, citing instances of forceful removal of directional signboard at the entrance to Eje community by Ufia youths.
Most of the security issues we have along this road is something that affects the two of the communities concerned here. And we must take it very, very seriously. But let me say that before two communities that have mutual suspicion come to agree on security concern, we will address the small grudges that are ongoing. I heard my leader and former president making remarks earlier that at different times, conventions that are never in any way injurious to boundary, that the Eje community has placed signboard or tried to erect signboard at the roadside there. It doesn't demarcate boundary. Signboard nowhere in the world talks about boundary. It's just a sign, this way lead to this place, or this is what is happening here. But at night, our boys will go and remove what we have done during the day. And I know that people who destroy at night are not doing it for good intentions. And so I want to appeal to you that it is actually your younger ones, your people, your youth, that are provoking crisis. At different times, we have to drive home at night to count foreigners from our young ones. We will discuss the matter. Don't take laws into your hands. The simple reason is that if we allow it, look, no matter how strong you are, there will be casualties from both sides. But what will the casualties from the two sides benefit us? It is still you and I who are here that will look for money to go and treat them or bury if it is fatality. And so our leaders and paramount ruler, I want to address this particularly to you. Maybe the ones that are young do not understand. Signboard is not a sign of boundary location or adjustment.
Abaldadu also suggested economic synergy between the two communities by harmonizing their weekly market days for maximum profit.
That we should begin to do more economic integration than we are doing, so that the farm produce that come from our farms will create more value for our people. How do we do it? Our markets should not be clashing, so that if we are going to any Ufia or any Akpa market, we know that those of us at this common neighborhood will be attending one market and selling our produce, so that somebody will not tell me that the price here is like this and that price here is at that way, and then they will take advantage, economic advantage of the sufferings of our people. So, Paramount, sir, I know that one is within your purview much more. Kindly talk to your people. So we'll talk to our people, my president, so that we can adjust our market days to accommodate each other. I know there were issues. If we are resolving one, we should resolve all. And by the time we have all of these things, common security issues will be permanently addressed.
The arrival of the Olong of Ufia, the paramount ruler of the Ufia kingdom, Chief Matthew Ogbu Ogede, is a grand validation of the peace meeting between Akweya and Ufia. The paramount ruler in his remarks says the greatest law is love, and instructed that whatever is discussed should be executed for peace to reign.
Anywhere we go, we have good people and bad people. And the say the first place that he teach was at Ojoma. The first place he resided when he was at Ojoma was at Leo Agbo's compound, that they were eating in the same plate. All that shows agreement, peace, and love. If anything happened to him, also happened to himself. So, security about he said, whatever we have discussed here, most especially security, we should follow it. In time past, we sat down and discussed like this in peace and in unity. He says, as we go forward, all these issues will vanish. All this fight here and there is because of disagreement among various communities.
In the same conversation, a former national chairman of Akpa Community Development Association and an Akweya elder statesman, Engineer Pius Oklo, says peace must be sought from both sides. Engineer Oklo, who hinted a little on the history of how Ufia settled in the present Ojije community, suggested practical steps to ending lingering boundary issues, including involving members, House of Assembly representing the two constituencies, and the chairman of Otukpo and other local government area, respectively.
The Ufia people and the Akweya people, I want to tell you that for peace to come to any two different types of people, these people will drive peace, these people will drive peace. The peace will come together. Now, if this peace will come together, we need to really talk to ourselves more. I want to tell you that for peace, this relative peace we have had up to this time is because the Akpas are bent on peace. I'm telling you now, Mr. President, it's because the Akpas are bent on peace, no matter what happens.
like the president said, this place here, this land here, was a slave market. My grandfather, my mother's father, used to come here to release slaves from this ground here, release slaves, pay for them and release them. So we have enough story concerning this land. Late Chief Judge Uloko is of late memory. If he's here, I will talk to him and he will talk to me, and we will tell you here now how he came to live here. And most of you that are elderly in the Ufia, you know how Judge Uloko's father came to live here. Or whether his father or grandfather. His father. So, we know it. When this primary school, I think it was this, that was erected and brought up problem in 1980. Very serious problem. That we brought people from the State House of Assembly. They came here, they went to the boundary between Akpa and all that. I think I still have the document, the report of the State Assembly concerning this place. Because of the fight that happened here. Nearly brought real communal war. If the Akpas talk to their youth to restrain, the Ufia has to talk to their youth to restrain. Then we come to agree. And a practical step I want to suggest for the two presidents is that one, they should involve the member of the House of Representatives representing Akpa and Ufia. I mean, the State Assembly. They should involve them on this issue. Two, they should involve the local government, chairman of Ado and Otukpo on this issue. Then, they should involve these people now will involve the Benue State Boundary Commission. Let us demarcate and know the boundary between us and the Ufia people.
The Chairman Committee on Boundary Ogioma Community Development Association, OCDA, Professor Ted Anyebe, added that the book written by Professor Otokpa Agada is a revelation of his mind and insists that the permanent solution to the Akweya Utonkon issue is to define both the land and air boundary between the two communities.
The book that Professor Agada wrote, it's good that he wrote the book. Oh. If he didn't write the book, we wouldn't have known what is in his mind. And when he starts sending some people to do some things, we will be shocked. So it's good that he has written the book. If he didn't write the book, we won't be here. And out of this meeting, other things also will come out that will make Akweya and Utonkon and Ufia to come together even in stronger terms. We have to put an issue of a permanent, at least thinking about a permanent solution. And one of the permanent solutions is to create a boundary. It may not be the agenda of today's meeting. So you don't need to start having doubt on our integrity as Akweya people. If tomorrow members of the House or the Boundary Commission come and you start seeing them trying to ascertain the boundary between Ufia and Akweya, it is very necessary. It is very, very, in fact, it is one of the security measures that we should take.
In another development, the leader of Ufia youth, Comrade Emmanuel Egbe, accused the Ogioma Akpa youth of extorting money from Ufia people anytime they go through the community with dead bodies of their deceased loved ones.
The issue of carrying out, at the cost of carrying corpse to the other community, and the youth coming out to demand for, should I say, ransom, one thing the other, is what I want the youth leaders and also even the national president to also maybe comment on, so that we can see how these things will be rectified across the both sides. Thank you.
In response, Comrade Adaudo made the Ufia youth understand the presence of a deity in Ojoma that forbids crying, wailing, and shouting as the Ufia normally do when they pass Ojoma with corpses. Adaudu, however, implored the Ufia to seek direction anytime they come to the entrance of the community with corpse.
It's a very simple issue. Nobody will do that. So what you will go back to do, nobody will stop you. We are all human beings. We will all die. We will never disrespect a dead person, a dead body. We share, we have empathy in us. You see? Look, even if my own person is passing there, if an Ojoma community person dies, and an Ejo here, and the family are moving through that place, if you wait there, you pay fine. Let me tell you, any of you who knew, my brother Emmanuel Adaudu, his corpse was laid there, and I paid. I were fined. So it's not peculiar to you. So don't look at that one as a problem. Study the tradition and custom of the people where you are passing there.
The Ufia youth leader, Comrade Egbe, in a conversation with Akweya TV, also said he will speak with his youth group to ensure the peace that have been agreed upon at the peace meeting.
Personally, myself, even at the course of the sitting, I acknowledge the fact that the resolution of this meeting solely lies in the hands of the youth. And as such, we have it, or personally I have it at mind, to see how we can bring together the youth formation between Ufia, Akba, and even Edmoga to foster more peace and unity. Because our major target is peace, unity, and oneness that brings about the development of each of these communities.
Other personalities who attended the peace meeting include the Secretary General, Ufia Development Association, Comrade Fidelis Ila, former Vice Chairman, Ado Local Government, Honorable Innocent Agassi, and the Ward Head, Royongo Ward, Chief Alphonsus Oke, the National Chairman, Ojoma Community Development Association, Mr. Abba Age, and the Supervisory Councillor, Education Otukpo Local Government Council, Honorable Francis Ogbole, and a host of others. And that's where we wrap up our report for this hour. Thanks for watching. Please do share the stories and subscribe to our YouTube channel.